So it's not normal that camper vans and camper trucks and motorhomes camp here. But they did find us a spot kind of out behind at the beginning of one of the trailheads that goes down to the lake. So we got really lucky there. But we're going to walk up to the lodge, get a little Wi-Fi signal, check in with the world. Sometimes we go a few days without knowing what's going on out there. And by the time we get done doing that, you can see this bright sun behind me will be starting to go down. So when you come in the lodge, you walk up to the second floor, and there's a restaurant. And there's a little outdoor balcony off of the restaurant with a lake view. And it is pretty. And if you look right in front of us right here, these little A-frame or whatever you want to call them looking roofs, those are actually the rooms underneath. So if you came here, you could stay in this hotel. You don't have to have a van to come here. And you would have that view out your window.
So here's a fact I learned. So out here in this national park, this area, Chincho and towards the coast, there has been a lot of cypress exportation. There is no more because they've taken most of it. But as we see all these wooden buildings with wooden shakes on them and churches, they're made with the cypress wood. And as you guys probably know, cypress tends to be rot resistant. So you see a lot of these roofs and walls with cypress shakes. And, you know, you'd think they rot, but they hold up pretty good, actually.
The sun is just about gone. And the kitties are watching because it's very unusual for Curt to be getting ready as the sun goes down. Putting on his fancy hat and everything.
How do you like my light? That's a cool light, ain't it?
Curt is heading out, gonna take a walk down the road. It's completely safe, nothing crazy that can get you in this part of the forest. And he's gonna stay on the roads.
And I am looking for, get this, wild black cats.
Yes, little tiny black cats that we can't say the name of them. The Darwin fox, which there's only like 500 of them left in the world, so that's very unlikely, but this is a place you would see them. And something called a mountain monkey. It's kind of like a little marsupial, a mountain
mouse.
Yeah. We will put the names of these on the screen, but Curt's on a mission to find at least one of them.
All right, guys. Wish me luck. The sun has already gone down, and I am headed out. It is not dark yet. It is dusk, so it will be getting dark quickly. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to film. I've got a couple flashlights with me, so hopefully we see something worth trying to film. If not, we'll see when we get back to the van. This is a night hike. That means we have limited visibility in the orbit of the light only. And it's tough to see, and it's even tougher to film. We're listening to sounds, and we're looking for eyeballs. Be very, very quiet. Alright, guys. I could hear an owl. You could hear my awful owl call, but it worked a little bit. But I just can't find him. definitely some activity. So I'm told with these cats that we're looking for some eyes about eye level. They get up in the trees and they hide. And supposedly we can see their eyes if we can find them. And out here there's also the Darwin frogs, which are a rare frog. I just saw a poodoo and he's kind of hissing. We're looking for Darwin frogs, and honestly, they wouldn't tell me where to look for them because they're so rare. So, if we're lucky enough to see one, well, it'll be just that, luck. But we're still looking for some cat eyeballs, but we do have one poodoo sighting on record. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is very thick forest. And it's starting to get a little scary. And it's not scary because the pumas or the snakes or the spiders or anything like that. It's just that I've been walking for about an hour and it's really, really dark out here without my headlamp. So the only thing I'm afraid of is when my headlamp goes out, finding my way back to the van. But I really want to find one of these cats. So I'm going to keep going for a little while longer. I don't see him now, but I definitely saw some eyes back in there. And they were smaller eyes, more like, maybe like a rodent. More like a rodent than a cat. There's definitely a poodoo in there. I can see his eyes. It's a male. The one I saw earlier was a female. This one I can see his little horn sticking out. Alright, I just came up on some eyeballs and so there's two or maybe three poodoo up in these woods, and I got a good look at one. He was a male. I couldn't tell the other one. There he is, right there. That's a male for sure. You definitely hear him. But it's wild because you come up on the eyeballs, and we're going to leave those guys alone. But I thought it was a fox or a cat for sure. And it's really tough getting coordinated with the camera and all that stuff and the lights. So probably not going to be able to film much, guys, but that's pretty cool. I think that was 2 or 3 poodoo up there. Alright guys, here's the problem. I keep saying one more river crossing, and then I say one more and one more. And the problem is my headlamp is growing dim. Now I have a handheld flashlight too, and I have my phone, so we're going to be okay. But I don't want to lose one and be 100% dependent upon the other. So, as much as it ills me, we're going to go ahead and turn around and head back. But we are going to be on the lookout on the way back. And if I see anything interesting, I'm going to do my best to try to show you. But it's just hard in the dark.
So, Curt did his night hike last night. And this morning we woke up and it's so peaceful here. We decided to bust out the computers and get some editing done. Now, we don't show it that often. We might talk about it a little bit. But editing takes us 2, sometimes 3 days a week. With everything that comes with it, all the uploading and the editing and the music choices, which we love. But YouTube for us is our job. We have a lot of folks ask us how we make money to travel on the road like this. Well, every time you watch one of those commercials on one of our YouTube videos, we get a little bit of money. So if enough of you watch enough of the commercials, it starts to be enough to keep us on the road. Now, it doesn't cover our expenses completely, but without our YouTube channel, we would not be able to do this. So creating 2 videos a week for you guys is incredibly fun, but it's also our job. And to stick to our schedule, sometimes we just need to knuckle down and get some work done. We like to do that when we find somewhere comfortable. And we don't really plan for it. It's just when we feel good at a place and it has everything we need, that's what we do. So this lodge out here in the middle of this nature reserve turned out to be a perfect place to get some editing done. So I'm going to go upstairs have a cup of coffee in their cafe, borrow the Wi-Fi, because there is no internet out here, but it does have very slow Wi-Fi, and get a little information I need to finish up the video I'm working on now, and then I'll dive into the next video. So when we knuckle down like this, we usually each have at least 2 videos we need to edit, and that's the case. So we've decided we're going to stay here for a couple of days and edit, mix in some hikes, look for some more animals. There are birds everywhere here, and get some work done before we get back on the road. So that's a little update on what's happening here and how we make a little money on the road to keep traveling, because we do get asked that a lot. So this lodge has some hiking trails, and we are headed out to hopefully get to a waterfall, and then maybe find some big old giant trees. Curt's getting the backpack gathered up with some snacks and water, and then we're off. All right, here we go.
It's about a 45-minute hike down to the Cascada and then back. We go along a river, so it should be a real pretty hike. The sun's out today. It's a really nice morning. We've had good weather ever since we've been at the lodge. We're going to be a little bit quiet, so maybe we can see some birds or something.
We're looking for wildlife. Whisper voices.
All right. We're slowly creeping through the forest. It's a pretty nice trail. A few little muddy spots, but nothing bad at all. It's really quiet back in here. Few random birds chirping. Happy little forest.
Those posts are alive.
They are. So I was talking to Martine. His dad built this place, and I guess about 30 years, 26, 27 years ago. And I was talking to Martine, his son, and he was telling us how all these paths were made. His workers have cut all these bridges and all this with chainsaws. All this work is done by hand with materials right here from the forest. So, pretty cool.
Halfway to the waterfall. So we found a little spot to take a break right here by the river. And you can hear the waterfall in the background. So it gives you a little motivation to get there. But first, a little mini break.
I don't know if you can see it. Right here I found some kind of water bug. I'll touch him and see him move. He's almost like a spider, like a crab. Alright, so there's about 30, 40 foot of uphill on this trail. Not much, it's mostly a flat trail. But we made it to that spot. And Snow's rested, but we've been walking for a while, so I know she's getting a little fatigued. But at least they have nice stairs here. And in the background you can probably hear the waterfall. We're getting close. Part of the reason for the climb. All right, one of a number of trails. But if you guys look, this is a pretty extensive trail map. And so this little arrow down here is where we're at the waterfall. And we actually came from down here. So all this network of trails we still have yet to walk on. But this is a pretty big park. We're over here by the giant lake, and this park goes all the way over to the coast. So this is absolutely huge.
I don't think we've mastered how to say it yet. Tepahuico?
And now probably it makes sense to them.
That's why we haven't been
You
saying
guys
it.
take a try at it. How do you pronounce that? So anyway, it's a huge park and we're just on a little bit of an edge of it. But as far as I'm concerned, we're right in the middle of the action. All right, one more little flight of stairs down. Yeah.
In the open air, we close our eyes and breathe in slowly. Knew we'd get here from the start. Finding magic in the days and nights as they're unfolding. Writing stories with the stars. And the morning speaks to these open dreams. And we're right where we belong. I'll go anywhere with you. In the sunlight or underneath the moon. All we have is enough. Take my hand, darling, we were born to run. It's all waiting for us.
All right, we made it to the Cascada. Enjoyed, just rested there. And checked out the double rainbows. Actually, I caught a rainbow. And there's another little short spell up here over to some really cool trees. And so Snow's decided to press on. And I'm glad she did, because now I get to watch her go over this rickety bridge. Oh, so these trees, I believe,
600 years old.
600 years old. And oh, look at them. Oh, and look, they have nice benches where you can just lay back and look at the trees.
I'm headed straight to the bench.
Snow has just found her happy place. Whenever we're filming trees like this, it's always difficult to show you the scale. These are so big you can't get them in one camera screen. But they're also kind of knobbly. I don't know. Maybe like veiny trees. But these benches make sense because they're almost like big giant pieces of art. So you can just sit there and stare at them. And all through here, they have all these different benches where you can just stare at the trees. Super cool, huh, guys? Look at this. What a fabulous place. Los Manos. It's nice here, isn't it?
Peaceful. It's very quiet. Little bird chirps and
So-
the waterfall.
So in looking at these trees, it looks like the inside sort of dies and rots,
the
and then it
outside
kind of
goes
keeps
through.
all these shoots or whatever keep growing up.
Yeah, it's a cool looking tree.
This is what Snow was staring at, in case you guys are wondering. What a nice, peaceful place, guys. Sometimes you just gotta relax. Let it all go.
We've spotted a cute little bird. Getting him some lunch under the shade trees. He's got an orange belly. And he makes a cute little sound. A nice little visitor on the trail.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!